This Sunday afternoon, November 17th, at the Winnipeg Art Gallery's Muriel Richardson Auditorium at 3 p.m., Virtuosi Concerts in collaboration with the Women's Musical Club of Winnipeg and Prairie Debut will be presenting Two Sons of the Prairie. Called A Love Letter to the Prairies, the concert will feature cellist David Liam Roberts and pianist Godwin Friesen performing music of Rachmaninoff, Poulenc, Joni Mitchell, and music composed by Friesen himself. Manitoban David Liam Roberts has performed on stages both here in Winnipeg and around the world. He was the 2021 winner of the Michael Measures Prize from the Canada Council for the Arts. He was also the grand prize winner at the 2018 National Music Festival of Canada. He has performed as a soloist with our Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra, and this past September, he performed in Cornwall, UK, and in Trondheim, Norway. Pianist Godwin Friesen is from Saskatchewan. In 2022, he took first place at the OSM competition. He also took a first place award at the National Music Festival in 2015, and he has also won the Glenn Gould School's prestigious Concerto Competition. Both musicians are rising stars on the classical music scene, and joining me here over Zoom to talk about their concert called A Love Letter to the Prairies, I am joined by Godwin Friesen and David Liam Roberts. Hello to you both. So great to have you here.
Hi, Chris. Hi. Thanks for having us.
First of all, I want to start things out by asking how the two of you met. It wasn't here on the prairies, right?
Yeah, we met when we were both studying in Toronto at the Glenn Gould School, and we were both students there. And yeah, as soon as we met, we kind of knew that we were kindred spirits in many ways, and people even now mistake us for brothers all the time.
So, like, talk about the experience, like when you first met and realized that you were both from the prairies and you both worked so well. Like, was it immediate, or was it after a couple rehearsals, or?
We didn't start playing together right from the start, actually. David joined the Glenn Gould School 2 years after I did.
Mm.
And I think I was kind of excited for the chance to play with David someday. And I don't know if he thought that like I was um um like too old for him or something. Like were you feeling like you were waiting for the perfect opportunity to ask me or something when really I was willing all along?
No, actually, you weren't quite at my level. Yeah, forward to playing with him, and yeah, and then we started playing together in a trio. Or we have a trio called the Rillian Trio. So we've this is actually the first time that we're playing as a duo. This is the first year that we're playing as a duo. So
Mm-hmm.
finally,
Can you talk about the Lillian Trio a bit? Who's the violinist? And also, can you talk about the prize that you just won in Trondheim, Norway?
yeah. So the violinist is Daniel Dastur. We met at GGS, and um, yeah, so we were together for a year at the Glenn Gould School, and we just wanted to play the Tchaikovsky trio. That was our dream.
Hmm.
Um, okay, let's play this massive piece. And we had no plans of being a serious long-term trio, but as the year went along, we just found that we had this really special chemistry together, and our violinist is very entrepreneurial, and we all have the same kind of ambition and just drive as musicians. And so we heard about this competition in Norway, the Trondheim chamber competition, and we just kind of set that as our goal. And so
Mm.
it 2 years in the making, but we were really fortunate that it worked out.
You won, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it was a fantastic experience. We played 3 rounds, a lot of music, probably like, what is it, like 3 hours of music or something.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah, a marathon of an experience.
Hmm. The concert on Sunday is very much a collaboration, not only between yourselves, but also Prairie Debut, Virtuosi, and the Women's Musical Club of Winnipeg. How did it all come about? Like, who approached who about getting the concert off the ground? Talk about that process a bit.
Yeah, so actually, this concert is the first of our Prairie debut tour. So there's a touring organization called Prairie Debut. They're fantastic, and they give they give young musicians like us the opportunity to play a tour across the prairies of Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. And so this is our first concert on that tour. We're doing like 25 others throughout the year.
Mm.
The first one. So it's thanks to Prairie Debut.
And then they put it together. Fantastic.
Yeah.
On Sunday, you're playing one of Rachmaninoff's real masterpieces in the chamber music literature, his cello sonata. It's very much a duo. The piano part is so virtuosic and the cello part is so intense and beautiful. Godwin, can you talk about what it was like learning the piano part? There's so many notes. What was it like tackling it? Is it a bit like playing a Rachmaninoff piano concerto with cello? What
Yeah,
was it like?
um, thankfully I got a head start a couple years ago already when my brother, who's also a cellist, wanted to play it for his recital at school. And so, I mean, I probably spent the year learning it, kind of along with all my other repertoire, just movement by movement. Yeah, it's one of those pieces that, yeah, just like the rest of the most difficult Rachmaninoff stuff, it's this big stretches, the notes going by so fast. You have to have it so ingrained. It's not at all something you can read kind of on the spot.
Hmm, hmm. And one of the things I think about when I think about Rachmaninoff is those big beefy parts, and I also think about voicing of the piano chords and balance between the cello. And I'm also thinking in particular in different recital halls, right? There's balance issues. The balance from one recital hall is going to be different. What is that like for the both of you? Is it a challenge?
It's a challenge for me. Yeah, to be that's yeah. This Rachmaninoff sonata is notorious for cellists, notoriously difficult for cellists to be able to play loud enough, just so that the audience can hear the cello part over the piano part, which is like 20 times as loud. Um,
Yeah, the pianist is required to pretend to play his loudest,
Right.
rather than actually playing fortissimo when it says fortissimo. You really have to give that effect when in fact I think I'm reaching more for like a mezzo piano, mezzo forte dynamic in some of these moments.
Mhm. And does that switch up from hall to hall, or do you know? Or are you going to find out on the tour?
Yeah, it probably, yeah, depending on, because when I played it with my brother, that was in a hall that had such such resonance, and I remember needing to even pull back the bass register because that was like, yeah, getting a bit muddied up. So
Hmm, hmm. It's just such a fabulous cello sonata. The other big work on the program is Poulenc's cello sonata. It was written for Pierre Fournier. I have Pierre Fournier's recording the Bach cello suites. His sound is so pure and focused and beautiful. And the Poulenc cello sonata is full of wit and charm. David, do you have to make an effort to change colors on cello when you're playing the Rachmaninoff as opposed to playing the Poulenc? I mean, they're sort of very contrasting sonatas, right?
they are very different. Yeah, the with the Poulenc, you have to be able to change characters just on a dime. I
Hmm.
special thing about his music is that he'll introduce this one character for like 5 seconds, and then right away he'll introduce the other character, and there's no kind of like intermission or like transition to the next character, which is kind of what we see in Rachmaninoff.
Hmm.
But it's just so full of character, and it's really ironic. Actually, there's so much humor in it, and that's one thing I love about that piece.
Hmm. And Godwin, for you, what's the piano part like? What do you enjoy about playing it?
the same kind of uh, whimsical characters. I think this is something that connects David and my style of playing is this love for the fun and the um the Italian word I guess is this kind of scherzando character, the maybe a bit like Puck It's one of those kind of archetypal figures that we like to portray.
Yeah. Fun-loving Puck from Midsummer Night's Dream. There's also music on the program, Godwin, written by you. Can you talk about when and how you started composing? How did that come about?
When I was a young piano student, one of my earliest teachers, when I probably started with her when I was 8 in Edmonton, Sheila Wright. She's a composer and a piano teacher, and she just told all of her students that you can compose and you're going to compose for the composing recital that we have each year. So there was the repertoire that you were working on, just like normal piano lessons, and then everyone had to write a little piece. And so it just became something that, okay, everyone can do, and I found that I really enjoyed doing it. And so I did a few composing master classes, composing workshops as a kid, and then I picked up composing again more seriously a few years into my studies in Toronto, when and it's kind of taken off in a new way from there, now that I have more of the knowledge of music theory and the trends of composing through, I have a lot more tools to actually put into it. And now a few years ago, I felt like it was my opus 1, and now I'm on to, they're not actually published yet, but I feel like I'm on opus 4 right now, and it's exciting to keep going.
Can you talk about the piece that the two of you are going to be performing on Sunday?
Yeah, this one is just wanted to make a kind of short, punchy piece. This one's about 7 minutes, and it's in 3 parts. I should tell you what it's about first. It's about brothers. Like I mentioned, my brother is a cellist, and then I have this kind of brotherhood with other cellists and just people in general. This picture of brothers, and there's conflict sometimes, often, and there's unity, and it's really that beautiful feeling of being like a brother with someone, and with that unity. That's such a beautiful thing that I have experienced quite a bit. And so I'm inspired by a Psalm 133, that the first line is, "How good and pleasant it is when brothers dwell together in unity." And then it has different images that I was inspired by as I composed this piece. I said there are 3 parts. The first part, I wanted actually to show the conflict that often happens. And so there's really like butting heads and interrupting each other. And then there's a moment of like shifting perspective, saying, let's listen to each other. And then we get that unity, this how good and pleasant it is, middle section. And on to the third section is a return to the high energy material of the start. But this time it's like, we're going to do this together. We're going to collaborate, and we're going to make something exciting, not stepping on each other's toes, but actually dancing together. No, but, really, really doing something by putting our energy together.
And David, what's the cello part like?
It's hard. It's it's very well written. I think it's very like evenly balanced. Kind of, well, really like the Poulenc sonata. So we both kind of have these equal like parts, and it works really well together.
Fantastic. And then also on the program, you're performing some of Joni Mitchell's tunes. Not a son of the prairie, but very much a daughter. Lived in North Battleford, Saskatchewan, and called Saskatoon her hometown. What tunes are you going to be doing, and what does your take on Joni Mitchell tunes mean?
Yeah, so we wanted to just have kind of something fresh in our programs, and we were thinking about what's close to the hearts of prairie people, and so obviously Joni Mitchell came to mind. She's such an icon of the prairies, and her songs have meant so much to so many people. I remember, so what we're playing is Both Sides Now, from the Clouds album. And we're also playing Big Yellow Taxi.
Okay.
Maybe.
Great.
It's a really catchy song.
Not in a classical style at all. It really is like
Yeah.
both of us have experience playing other styles, and we're utilizing that, you know, oral tradition, playing by ear. It's a bit of an improvised quality, but with a few special touches of yeah, from our kind of other side of our playing style. Yeah.
Yeah, we've both done quite a bit of improvising, so it's kind of leaning into that side of our life a little bit.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. This has been so great talking to you. I'm going to wrap up the conversation by asking what you're both looking forward to about Sunday's concert. David, maybe I'll start with you.
Yeah, well, I'm just excited to be back in Winnipeg, and especially the fact that it's at the WEG. Like I first played there when I was 11 at the Winnipeg Music Festival, and so I have so many memories of playing there, and so it's really cool to be finally back and playing on the main stage of the WMC and Virtuosi, who I've had a long history with growing up in Winnipeg. But so it feels kind of like a full circle moment to use the act.
And Godwin, how about you?
Two things. I haven't spent much time in Winnipeg, but I do have relatives who live in southern Manitoba, so I'm looking forward to the possibility of a few of them coming, and maybe even some high school friends too who moved to Winnipeg recently. So there's the people aspect of it, but then also I am excited about our program, the variety that's in it. I feel like we have the opportunity to delightfully surprise people with the variety that we have and the way we're presenting it, giving anecdotes along the way. I feel like we have the opportunity to make something special and share that with the dear people there.
Perfect. David and Godwin, this has been really great talking to the both of you. All the best on Sunday, and thanks for taking the time to talk with me today. It's been wonderful.